What's up, everybody? It's hump day, Wednesday. We are now into February, and I don't know what it's like where you're at, but here in North Carolina and Virginia, it's cold as Alaska, boy. I'll tell you what, they need to take this shit back to the north and we can get our springtime on. I ain't used to this. Hey, I guess we're all getting hit with a little bit of cold weather. I mean, it is winter, but damn, can we get a little bit of sunshine? Hey, it is what it is. But this video, Marine Corps Boot Camp, Phase 2, oh, that's when it starts to get real. So you imagine the last 4 weeks, you have learned the basics of what it's like to be a Marine Corps recruit. You've done your drill, you've adjusted to life at the Marine Corps Depot, Parris Island, or San Diego, if, that's where you're at or you're going to go. But these first 4 weeks is like a breakdown phase, right? So the first phase is breaking you down, teaching you our ways, teaching you our history, teaching you what it's like to be a basically trained Marine. And by now, you're pretty accustomed to it. You know what to do. You know that you're going to get up. You're going to get ready at a very expeditious rate. You're going to go to morning chow, and then you're going to start your day, whether it's classes or more, introduction to drill, which to me, Marine Corps drill and Marine Corps cadence is some of the prettiest and the most lovely things that I like. I mean, to this day, I still like to listen to Marine Corps cadence. I still like to watch videos on drill instructors marching platoons. I mean, it just gives me chills when I watch that kind of stuff. But phase 2, right? Phase 2 is when the shit gets real. Now it's time to turn up the volume a little bit, but you're not being broke down so much. Now it's about these very intricate skills that you need to know as a basically trained Marine. One thing that scares a lot of people, there's a lot of fear, is going to the pool. So you're going to spend a week at the pool, and you're going to have Marine Corps water survival instructors teaching you. And look, if you can't swim, it might be in your best interest prior to going to boot camp to get familiar with the water, because you're going to have your camouflage utility uniform. You're going to have a pack. You're going to have a rubber rifle, right? And you're going to be jumping from different heights into the deep end. You're going to be swimming the length of the pool, Olympic-sized pool, right? You're going to be treading water for a little bit. If you don't get familiar with water and being in a pool, or surrounding yourself with that kind of environment, that's one thing you need to do prior to going to boot camp. Don't wait and then do this at boot camp, because one, you're already kind of shook a little bit and stressed out because of the environment you're in during boot camp. But now you're being asked to do something you've probably never done before, right? It's all about staying calm, be relaxed, listen, and just do as you're instructed to do. Understand that you're not going to drown. Somebody's going to be right there every step of the way. But you're going to get the basics of Marine Corps swimming instruction, right? This is something that you have to pass in order to move on to the next step. So you got to pass swim qual, all right? And every Marine and every unit, they all go to swim qual, okay? These are things that we have to know how to do. And you don't have to be Michael Phelps. You don't have to be an Olympic swimmer. You just have to be comfortable and know how to stay calm and operate in water, because we are amphibious. The Marine Corps is by air, land, and sea, okay? So don't let that fool you. If nobody told you this prior to going to boot camp, you need to know it now. You got to get comfortable being wet. You need to be comfortable in water and being surrounded where you don't have a lot of control. Water is one of the most powerful forces of nature, and you have to be somewhat skilled as a Marine, okay? You get better, but this is basically trained Marines. We want to make basically trained Marines to graduate Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Parris Island, or San Diego, you get your title, right? One of those things in phase 2 is swim qual. So if you're looking at this and you're in the MEPS program, or you're about to go, you have a ship day, or you're thinking about becoming a Marine, make sure that one of the things that you do outside of your physical fitness is be comfortable in water. Don't wait until, phase 2 of Marine Corps boot camp to get familiar with it. It's not going to be the most fun time you ever had. Although, if you can swim, it's a lot of fun, right? I think that was one of my best weeks in boot camp. I loved it. I loved jumping off the different heights of the platforms. I loved being in uniform. I loved with the rifle and learning how to do side stroke and floating and using your uniform to expand with air so you can use it as a flotation device. I mean, hey, it's a really good week at boot camp. And then, of course, staying along the lines of phase 2, you're going to get a chance to do some more martial arts, some basic Marine Corps martial art program techniques, because you're working for that first belt, which is a tan belt, which, once again, is a requirement to graduate Marine Corps boot camp. You must pass. And look, it might seem like the hardest thing in the world sometimes, but if you just keep an open mind and you listen and do as you're instructed to do, you really can't mess it up, right? They're teaching you how to be a warrior in all aspects of the way we do things, okay? So you're going to get tested with the Marine Corps martial art program. You and another recruit are going to have to go through a series of tests where, what they've instructed you to do, you have to show it to them. You have to show them that you have learned it, you have understood it, and that you can go through it. And doing that, a part of the warrior skills, if you've never been in a fight, you're going to have to understand that during Marine Corps boot camp, we're going to have to be a little aggressive. We're going to have to be a little violent, a little intense for this purpose, right? So you're going to have pugil sticks. Pugil sticks looks like something that resembles a big ass Q-tip, right? You got these 2 pads on each end. You got the pole in the middle. They're going to put you on a platform with headgear on, and of course something to protect your midsection. And you're going to be asked to go at it, and it's 100%. Go all out. You knock the guy down, you win. He knocks you down, he wins, or she wins. All right? So pugil sticks. Honestly, I would look it up if I didn't know what it was. But hey, that's where the violent and intense training comes in. This is where you're allowed to be, in this moment in time, as violent as you want to be. Okay? You want to go all out, be aggressive. Okay? Then you got the different confidence courses. You got the ropes course. But then, one of the greatest things, you're going to get a chance to go to the rifle range. So you're going to pack your shit in your barracks that you've lived in, squad bay, barracks, whatever you want to call it, and you're going to go to the rifle range. At the rifle range, you're going to learn for 2 weeks Marine Corps marksmanship. You're going to have classes. This is when the drill instructors are a little bit more ease. They're going to be not stressing you as much because you're getting ready to play with live ammunition. It's the 5.56 ammo, and you're going to have to understand what the Marine Corps marksmanship. Every Marine is a rifleman, no matter what your job, MOS, whatever you want to call it, whatever your trade is going to be. Every Marine needs to be able to pick up a rifle and put rounds down range effectively. Okay, your brother or sister to the left and to the right of you, they are depending that of all things that you know how to do, you can throw rounds down range. All right, so you need to pay attention during Marine Corps Rifle Week. You need to listen to the instructors. You need to understand exactly what they're teaching you. And if you have hunted or been familiar with weapons in the past, and maybe you grew up on a farm, or you grew up shooting, maybe you grew up in the inner city, and and hey, you're used to that sidewind action there. Hey, This is a whole new ball game. You have to learn as they teach you. And then you get to shoot at a target from 200 yards away. Normally that is, I'm trying to think real hard here based on what I remember. But 200 yards kneeling, 200 yards standing, and then you go to 300 yards, and then you're going to be doing the kneeling, the sitting, the standing, and then in the prone at 500 yards. At 500 yards, a 6-foot silhouette looks like a freaking dime. And you're going to have to learn how to effectively fire your weapon and pass the marksmanship. There's marksman, there's expert, right? You want to shoot for expert, okay? You don't want to come out of there just a marksman. Sharpshooter is the second one. So it's like gold, silver, bronze. Expert, sharpshooter, marksman. Any one of those three will qualify you. Any one of those three will allow you to move on in recruit training. But you want to shoot to be an expert. This is your bread and butter as a Marine. You could be the best admin Marine in the world, but you still need to know how to shoot. You could be a motor transportation Marine, but you still know how to shoot. And every year as an active duty Marine, you're going to the rifle range and you're going to qualify with that rifle from 200, 300, and 500. And then they have a field exercise where it's moving targets and things like that. All right, so phase 2 is where the bread and butter of becoming a young warrior Marine is really put into you, implemented into your daily life, and everything that we do, those skills that will carry you through your career and make you a basically trained Marine. So listen, it's very imperative that you understand that this training has, every Marine had to go through it. Every Marine had to go to boot camp. Every Marine had to become basically trained Marine first before they did anything else. My next video that I'll post here soon is going to be phase 3, and you're going to love it, because at the end of phase 3 you will become a United States Marine. And until that video, I thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, please comment below, subscribe, and until then, stay warm, and I'll see you guys on the next one.